Hi, I'm Sebastian and this is Mustang in natural metal finish. Time for another video from the P-51 double belt. This time I will focus on the Mustang D and show you an easy way to achieve a natural metal finish. In the previous video I covered the fuselage assembly and prepared the model surface for painting. The model was primed using FOC02 previous silver. This primer gives a smooth, glossy surface that's perfect for further work. You can also use a black primer. The most important thing is that the surface underneath the metallic paint is glossy. I started the painting process with the wings. Since they were pitted and painted silver on the real aircraft, I masked off the metallic areas and used a semi-matte silver-grey paint for the wings. For painting, I used the Gaahleri Mobius airbrush with a 0.2mm nozzle. Thanks to the built-in Mach valve, which allows me to adjust the air pressure directly in the airbrush, painting becomes easier and more comfortable. Thanks to Gaahleri, you can also use a 10% discount code in their official store. Details are in the description. Now I can move on to painting the metallic surfaces. For painting the Mustang, I'll be using Mr.Hobby paints, which in my opinion are some of the best metallic paints available on the market. I'll be using these four colors. I especially recommend the super metallic range, however, it's somewhat sensitive to masking tape, so I only use this paint set in the final stages of painting. I'm starting with the darkest shade mixed from FOC02 and C28 steel. I apply this metallic color over all the metal areas, using it almost like a black basing layer. What do you think of this still looking Mustang? In the next step, I masked off the panels around the exhaust and applied a lighter metallic shade to selected panels. And once again, I switched to a lighter metallic shade and filled in more panels. Once I finished painting a few panels, I masked them off so I could freely paint the neighboring ones without the risk of overspray. I prepared another, lighter shade of the silver and steel paint mix and used it to paint more panels. When I'm deciding which panels to paint next, I mainly rely on the reference photos. Some panels on the fuselage are noticeably darker, especially around the exhaust area. Aside from that, I also try to keep the pattern somewhat random so the finish doesn't look too symmetrical. Time for the last two metallic shades from the super metallic range. I leave them for the end because you shouldn't apply masking tape over them, as it can leave unwanted marks. I paint the remaining panels in the same way as before. Painting is finished. I've removed the masking and this is how the Mustang fuselage looks. What do you think? The last step is to seal the surface with a clear coat. Next, I masked off the vertical stabilizer and painted the rudder. First, I applied a yellow base coat, then I added masks for the serial number, and finally I sprayed the red color. I also painted the anti-glare panel on the nose. Finally, the inversion stripes and the black part of the serial number are still left to finish. Painting is finished. I can start removing the masks and the Mustang is ready for decals, but that will be covered in the next videos. That's it for today. The next part of the P-51 double build will be coming soon, where I'll focus on the V version and painting the dark green over medium sea grey camouflage. See you soon!